Morning guys, how are you? Crypto Sniper here. Yes, February the 6th, we highlighted on this particular video that Bitcoin was in a falling wedge and that it may dribble a little lower first, but that there's going to be a medium-term push-up out of that falling wedge. And that there would be a fairly impulsive move breaking to the upside, as you get in patterns typically when you in this environment. You're going to be hearing the lovely bird life in the background of beautiful Acapulco, by the way. I should probably let you see the sea. It's so amazing there, the purple bougainvillea and all of that. Let's move on to that scenario cast that we did subsequent to the break. It was great, Dollar Vigilante and Acapulco. Great work by Jeff and the gang. It was great seeing Omar. We had a chat. We'll get some of that content up again. Must be one of the nice guys of crypto, Omar Bam. Always consistent, always humble, always courteous. Definitely give his channel a follow. Nice guy. And is always seeking to get to the bottom of things sincerely. So shout out to him, shout out to Jeff and the Dollar Vigilante guys. Really cool time. Anyway, so this was subsequent to the wedge break. So I've done the wedge in blue here, guys. So that's it falling down. And then you put in a low over here. And you challenged that low. You went marginally lower, as we'd suggested would happen in the previous YouTube. It went down, 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 and then it stood on it. And I'd actually said in that video, there's a strong chance it doesn't make a new low, and that's when you cross the wedge again. So you touch the channel low of the blue line, and then you try to make a new low. And the first time you fail to make a new low is potentially bullish. So that was a support floor there across on that wedge. Now this drawing, you can see the date. All my charts are dated. That is the 10th of 02, which is February 2019, and the time zone was 1831 when that was done. And we were already, I believe, in no, we were still in the UK. Aero Mexico decided to cancel our flight, and I was in Heathrow waiting another 2 days. So that was actually UK time. Anyway, moot point, but we timestamp everything we say for legitimacy. And that is the break that came out of the wedge that we implied was possible on the YouTube clip I just showed you before, the last full crypto clip. Then we went into this kind of holding pattern, and I highlighted here that in essence there was also a secondary element to the technical part that was kind of a channel. Now this I've done in red. It's harder to spot than the falling wedge, and this was the channel test. So we said you would ease for a while and grind before firming up and then looking for a break. And the more bearish version of what we would expect is that you'd come and potentially need to support that support, but we said it was a lower probability. There was real impulsiveness, there was some volume behind this, so easing, bumping up, nudging the channel, and then an impulsive move. The other part that we did in this draw was the target for that upside move. We felt at least 3,950 to 4,250s. So it's going to get quite meaty here in the range, the top end of the last range. Now, currently, I'll show you the live charts of where we're at. Let's go over to TradingView on the browser. And look at the BTC, how it did and how it rolled. Whoops, that's the YouTube. Bring him up. We'll go live to the charts and see it there. And let's escape out of that. That is something else we're watching. I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys, can't see my BTs for my BTs. So this is how we've gone on. Now, this particular image encapsulates from the whole 6,500 fall. So I'll take a little snapshot of this. By the way, I strongly advise that you get tools like Snagit if you don't already have it for your crypto trading. So you've got to learn to journalize, remember what you thought was happening, and in each time do what we call a scenario cast, not a forecast, a scenario cast. Language matters, guys. If you come and do a program with us, you'll see how we say it matters. A scenario cast is not a commitment to any one outcome. A forecast is a commitment to one particular outcome. Scenario casts are different versions of bullishness, bearishness in a situation. So that by definition, they're always plural. You can't be married to one view. You can have your high probability view if it is justified and you can make the case for it. But in scenario casts, there are usually more than one option. And when you see only one potential option, be very concerned. So there you go. We get the date time stamp on that particular image as well. And let's go back to the live charts again. So what's happened? There was that scenario cast, the green one, which was our higher probability and the more bullish. Down, 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 then a bit of a basing out. You see the little channel? I'm going to take you into that on a lower time frame. It did keep us guessing, though. I'm not going to tell you, it was absolutely sure thing. You got the little red channel over there, and then you had the fake attempt that came back in. I didn't like that. Actually. I didn't like it one bit, and I actually reduced my size at the wrong moment, as is you will want to do as a trader on Bitcoin, only to wake up tomorrow, this morning, and see that it has indeed gone for its break. When you get a smack back like that, after the exhaustion high around about there was a slight risk of double top, and also it was showing that the bulls weren't strong enough. So it was pretty deceptive, and it worked on me. But thankfully I was still in, and I still gained something, but not the full amount. Forget perfection and fantasy in your trading. You're human. If I knew today what I was looking at yesterday and the day before, I would have been triple my size. You always too small on your winners, and you always too big on your losers, guys. So get over it, the fantasy. You are trading in a game of uncertainty. You don't know tomorrow, today, and it always looks obvious in retrospect. So be chilled. You don't get a perfect outcome. I'm happy. I've made money today. I've made good money with margin. I just wasn't as big as I might have been. And you know what? The market does it to you all the time. But the key thing is you're not losing money. Capital preservation is one of the most important things that you can do. And also you're gaining. Okay, cool. So where do we see this go? Well, the scenario cost, I've already provided that for you. And we see that going to the 4,250, 3,950 mark, which was our scenario cost originally over there. Okay, good. So that's BTC. A little bit of a different coin. Let's add it in. Excuse me a second. I am just going to pop over to the Ripple chart. So people hate Ripple, and it's emotional, and it's the banker's coin. The key thing about becoming successful in trading is remaining dispassionate. About the markets. So here we go. XRP. It was particularly interesting at a pattern level. We'd been discussing it in our premium community, and we'd suggested in one of our draws and in the looms that I do for them that this little structure would first dip down, because it was also smack back on the Bitcoin. It would first dip down, and I've drawn with a stylus there. I do stylus drawing and everything in the premium community. I sometimes do it here for you guys. We can show you that little dip was actually there. The chart's since moved. So that was the little dip down. And then after that's shaken out all the weekends, that the positive move might come. Again, always easier to spot and to discuss, but that was also a high probability scenario for us. So when Bitcoin, being the God market, goes up, it gives permission to all the others, typically. But this one was particularly interesting because it had a squeeze within a squeeze. We don't opt to talk about Ripple more than any other coin, but it had a squeeze within a squeeze that was really, really interesting. And you can see it here. So there we go, up there, down, 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 spike up, down. This was getting very, very tight. Very, very tight. A lot of commentators that were technical analysts were watching us. We were also highlighting to you that this, if you learn HVF method, and this particular chart, Bitfinex, doesn't have as much history of the Ripple, but there was a great squeeze structure that set up the big move to the upside there during the bull market. Then we bounced on that support, we spiked away, we came all the way down, we bounced on that support, we spiked away, we came all the way down, we bounced. The bounce is getting smaller and squeezing across the top. It was very, very interesting. And as a result, Yes, as a result, we were getting lots of little spikes and compression, and it was a case of, will we push into the support zone or will we push out? There's been an immense amount of selling across the top, as already stated. So Bitcoin, being the boss, will probably be the one to decide that. But if Bitcoin is going to make that range that we've defined, 3,950 to the 4,250 before resting again, and it'll tell us whether it's continuation or going to have a little pullback, that'll then determine how far Ripple might go. Will it bleed out of the squeeze across the top? Will it leak out of that? Will it be possible that it can move strongly and robustly if we get next stage? Or is there going to be a few more twists of the knife, which I would always caution, it's never straightforward in the crypto markets. We can't do last rights on the bear market. There are a couple of geometries that still exist on the big time frames. So for now, if we get a nice strong move up to 4,250, that would be a great first step. I would expect some degree of reaction. So either it's going to go a little bit rounded top, and that means we're in for a pullback, or we get continuation pattern. So we'll see when we get that information. Okay, so that's the Crypto Sniper from sunny Acapulco. My laptop actually went into heat failure halfway through recording this. So yes, it's beautiful out here. Lovely morning, but toasty as well. Enjoy yourselves, trade small. By the way, any of you that saw us out there in I almost have said in Anarchy land, what's wrong with that, I suppose, in Acapulco, feel free to pop over to the website, www.themarketsniper.com, register there. We do free webinars. Next one, I believe, is the 27th of Feb. There's also the mini-series you can register for, so watch our Twitter for the link for that, at The Market Sniper and at The Crypto Sniper for the free mini-series. Okay, great. Hope you enjoyed the content, guys. Speak to you again soon. Also, some interesting stuff for the Reset Sniper and the Market Sniper. Make sure you sub to those channels. Spoke to Dave Morgan on the silver front, some interesting stuff coming out there. Did some other podcasts and guest appearances, so we should have some fun content coming your way in time. Okay, all the best, be well.